A small Munich suburb. Here in an old shed is the hero of the Rally Carrera Panamericana 2006. It's a Mercedes-Benz 190 of the Ponton series, built in 1958. Its owner, Thomas Hanna. He does up pontons with a passion and is known today as the Ponton Pope in Germany. I bought it in 1996, and then we decided to redesign it and turn it into a racing car. For a racing car, you've got to speed up the engine, remove the interior, make it lighter, install a roll cage, and then tune the engine. And that's how we slowly improved everything. This ponton has a long history. It started long before Thomas Hanna came into its possession. Then we did some research, you can do that at the Mercedes archive, about where the car was from, and that was in Mozambique, which was then Portuguese Africa. It was a taxi, so I think it's got at least 1 million kilometers on the clock. When we made the racing car out of it, we also cut the frame open at one place to improve something, and it was full of red desert sand. The Carrera Panamericana of Mexico is known to be the world's toughest old-timer rally. Thomas Hanna is taking part for the third time in 2006. Panamericana is one of the last races in the world with old-timers where the fastest wins, a very simple rule. Everything else in Europe is orientation races or set-time races, which simply aren't as fast as the Panamericana. This race results in many vehicles having accidents or breakdowns. Teams consisting of driver and navigator compete against one another in various vehicle categories. Thomas Hanna is racing the Panamericana with his ponton in the historic cars A category, serial 4-cylinder cars. 7 days, 3,000 kilometers. On sealed-off routes, the overall winner is established in daily examinations. The love story between Thomas Hanna and his pontons started here, 20 years ago, in this small workshop outside of Munich. This is where I started fiddling around with cars during my student days, and I've never given up this workshop to this day. And nowadays, special projects take place here, like racing car construction. My first contact with a ponton was when I was sitting at the back of my father's VW, watching the pontons cruise past and thinking, that would be a nice car, why doesn't Dad have one of those? Fascinating about these cars is the anticipated wing extension. That was just done back then because they were thinking about the original wing, but most likely believed that they shouldn't make them smooth and even. That's why there's this seam here, which you can nowadays again find on cars when they extend the wing for wider wheels. An almost visionary detail on the ponton, which is used again today, is the floor plate. It's an even structure with a capsuled cardan shaft. It's not exposed to dirt and mud, and all of this results in a good flow distribution, and that's popular today as well. The ponton didn't actually write racing history back then. The racing era began with the tail fin. I found it fascinating that there isn't really much information about the ponton as a racing car. But the tail fin is not much different than the ponton, so it had to be suitable as a racing car as well. Everybody knows the story of the 300 SL on Panamericana, but that was out of the question for us. So we decided to take an affordable limo, and that was the ponton. The toughest competitor for Thomas Hanna at the Panamericana 2006, a Volvo P1800. But contrary to the previous years, Thomas Hanna managed to win the competition this year. On the third day, the rain set in, and we could easily overtake the Volvo in the rain. And at the end of the course, we were wondering why. He said that he hadn't installed any windshield wipers. I said, why not? It was better in terms of weight and streamlining. Well, what can one say? We have a radio on board, we have a coupling device at the back, we have our luggage in the boot, we have tools with us, and others worry about a few grams of windshield wipers. I guess you can say it might be poetic justice. The emotional reward of a rally is the podium every evening, and this time we succeeded in being up there every day. It was a great feeling, and we even became the overall winner in our category.
Hey, Victor! Hi, how are you doing? Great, great. Hi again. Oh, wait a second. Oh, it works, it works.
Thomas Hanna will continue to set the standard with his ponton, which still remains to be beaten.